For a long time, it's been thought that most people have a so-called normal heart rate. However, a new report says that may not be the case. A team at the Scripps Research Institute in California found that people's heart rate could vary by up to 70 beats a minute person to person. Experts credit fitness trackers and smartwatches for helping better track people's heart rates over a longer period of time. Well, there's concern on both sides about an idea out of California to ban physical education tests for students for several years. This started because of complaints that a portion of the test discriminates against non-binary students. The body mass index requires students to identify as either a male or female. During the proposed suspension, California would decide whether to modify the test or start over with a new one.
The fitness assessment is a really important part of teaching kids to develop healthy habits and be physically active for life.
Active Schools is a national movement to get all school kids at least an hour of physical activity a day. Charlene Burgesson says fitness testing is important because it's related to overall health. She says she understands the issues around inclusivity and bullying, but that possible changes in testing should be looked at on a national level. Meanwhile, there's been a steady drop in PE test scores in California. At the same time, child obesity rates are rising and kids are less active. Some of that is due to lifestyle and influence outside of school. All the more reason, though, Burgesson says, for kids to be active at school.
It's about equity for all kids. Almost all kids go to school. And if we're doing right for them, giving them what they need in the schools, then we're ensuring that they're at least minimally getting what they need. If they get more at home and out in the community, that's even better.
Even if physical education tests are suspended in California, classes would still be required for graduation. New momentum is building to create a national memorial dedicated to victims of gun violence. Tomorrow, who is behind this push and what the artists who are creating it expect it to look like?
All right, next few days of the forecast, not a whole lot of changes here. We're going to have our highs in the middle 30s Friday and Saturday, and another chance for some of that light snow going into our Saturday morning. Could see an inch or less there, then warm enough for some rain on Sunday, a little cooler by Monday, and an isolated wintry mix. Thanks for joining us for the Now Indy. The news at 6 starts right now.
I walked into the apartment last night. I saw those 4 young people laying there on the carpet. Do you not think that that bothers us? Yeah, it bothers us. Everyone up here is disappointed in that.
Frustration mounting as the violence continues in Indianapolis. 4 people shot and killed inside an apartment on the northeast side.
Police and the community are struggling to find answers. One woman says there is one thing everyone needs to realize.
Their life matters. It does. And I think that they don't understand that. They don't see what we see. So we're here as a community, as people like them, and saddened in this, but we got to move forward.
And tonight, Indianapolis's top police officer with this message.
There's answers out there. There's people who know. Our detectives are dedicated to finding people responsible for this.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Tonight, 4 young adults are dead. Someone shot and killed them inside of a northeast side apartment.
And right now, Metro Police are searching for the killer or killers.
This happened around 10:30 last night in an apartment on Shady Oak Drive near East 42nd Street and Midhofer Road.
And this evening, we've learned the victims are 3 men and 1 woman. The Marion County Coroner's Office has identified them as 19-year-old Jalen Roberts, 20-year-old Marcel Wills, 21-year-old Braxton Ford, and 21-year-old Kamari Hunt.
We begin team coverage to help us gain context behind this display of violence that cost 4 lives and to show you the impact this is having on our neighbors and our community. We begin tonight with RTV6's Stephanie Wade. Stephanie.
Mark and Amanda, people are fed up with their homes, their neighborhoods becoming crime scenes, and saying last night's shooting was just another sad example of people not valuing their lives or others.
My daughter called me from across town and said, "Mommy, 4 people got killed by your house." And I looked out the window and the police was out there.
Wednesday night's quadruple murder marking Indy's 24th homicide, just 5 weeks into 2020.
To me, it sounded like a shotgun, like pow.
Gunshots, a familiar sound for people like Eileen Loper.
We are tired of it over here. We're tired.
Just trying to stay out of the crossfire.
And what's going through my mind? I don't know. I don't stay in my house like I do. Because that's what we do around here. only come out unless we have to.
Be sad, of course mourn, but at the same time use this to be motivation for all of us as a community to come together and help fix this issue.
Longtime East Side resident, graduating from Warren Central High School.
I grew up in this neighborhood and I really want to make a change.
Sharday Hoskins says the lack of quality food, jobs, and schools closing in the area makes fighting crime an uphill battle. She works to connect families with the nearby Boys and Girls Club and the Far East Side Cafe to do that.
It's generational, so this is all they know. A lot of the people have been residents of this area for a long time, and maybe they don't see their way out. Myself, I'm here to tell you that you can get out. There are resources to help you, and I want to be a part of that for you.
Is there hope? Where is hope?
Hope they coming to get through our people. Stop killing us. Let's stop killing each other. It's got to be a stop somewhere.
And a prayer vigil will begin here shortly at 6:30 at Carriage House East Apartments to honor the 4 lives lost. The public is welcome. For now, we're live in the Northeast Side. Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thank you, Stephanie. We now continue our team coverage with Megan Sanctorum.
And Megan, you spent the day with IMPD as they search for the person or people responsible for these 4 homicides and trying to figure out how this all happened. What are you finding out tonight?
Well, Mark, police are still actively investigating this case, but they say right now it appears to be part of a robbery. Local leaders say regardless of the motive, more needs to be done when it comes to prevention.
It hurts because it's so unnecessary.
IMPD Chief Randall Taylor reacting to the quadruple homicide, saying this act of violence is hitting some especially hard.
The youth of the victims, the number of victims all in one spot. Definitely don't want to get your public, especially your young people, used to having these kind of things happen around them.
But that's becoming a reality for many in the city. And the chief says preventing violence like this can be an uphill battle.
I don't know what we could have done to have prevented something like this, except for maybe getting with those people that would commit violence and try to work things out. Whatever the dispute is, helping them choose something other than pulling a trigger.
That's part of what Shauna Majors does with the city's Community Violence Reduction Team. They go into neighborhoods and connect with residents. She says they've been to this apartment complex for outreach work before, but it's been a while. And this shooting has her thinking about what the team could be doing differently.
I don't know if maybe we're not in apartment complexes as much as we could be.
She says the city can only do so much, though, and she's calling on the community to get involved.
You have to do something. Sitting back and watching everybody else or complaining about what's not being done, it doesn't help anybody.
Chief Taylor echoed her plea, saying the focus needs to be on young people.
We all say that back in the day, if you got in trouble, someone was going to tell your parents, before you even got home, because people were willing to be involved. I think we've missed that. And I understand people are a little intimidated maybe by speaking or talking to kids that they don't know. But I think that's going to be part of the solution in there somewhere.
Police are still looking for those responsible for this shooting. Anyone with information is asked to contact them. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And local school leaders and teachers are fed up with this violence that's happening all around their students. In fact, some of their students live in the neighborhood where last night's shooting happened.
They spend a lot of time trying to keep their students safe, even outside of the school day.
Working for you, Cornelia Stalker gets to the bottom of their concerns.
Amanda and Mark, the school right behind me, Fallon Leadership Academy, has become a safe space for the students who live out here on the far northeast side because of the daily violence they have to deal with. They actually keep the school doors open even longer than the school day. You can see some of the students are playing basketball. And they do that, like I said, because the students feel so safe here. And these kids here, they know people who have been shot. Some of them have even lost family members. And this is one of the only places where they feel safe because, again, they hear gunshots almost daily. Case in point, the young lady you're about to hear from next actually heard the shooting happen last night.
Where I live at, is so much going on. Like, it could be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It could be gunshots. You can be getting up ready for school. Gunshots. Like, you never know. Bullets don't got eyes nor name. They could be shooting at somebody else and accidentally shooting my house at me.
Now, in a scathing response to the city and the mayor, the school leaders here say the city is failing the Far East Side, which in turn means it's failing their students. They say they've reached out to the city numerous times, including last month, to come up with ways to make this area safer for everyone, but they didn't hear back. Now, today they did hear from the city, and they say they want to have a meeting. But everyone here says that they hope that this meeting will turn into some action that'll make things safer out here for their students. Live tonight, working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Thank you, Cornelius. If you are affected by this act of violence, especially if you knew the victims, their families, or live around that area, there is help. You can reach out to the Community Alliance at the Far East Side. They will help you get in touch with the right organizations to help you. Their number is 317-890-3288. Again, it is 317-890-3288.
And we are looking into the numbers. There have already been 24 homicides in Indianapolis in just the first 5 weeks of 2020. And here's what we're learning. Most of the people being killed are between the ages of 21 and 30. But that's not all. There are 2 homicide victims between the ages of 11 and 20. Bottom line, young people in our neighborhoods are dying. And we want to make sure that you know what's going on in your neighborhood. On the RTV6 app and at the IndyChannel.com, we have a breakdown of where all of the homicides in Indianapolis are happening. In fact, we show you the location down to the street. And at our website, we are covering every angle of the tragic killing of 4 young adults in Indianapolis, what we know about the case, more on the victims, what the community is saying, that homicide map, and where you can get help. Again, that's all at the IndyChannel.com.
Just about 6:10 now. It was a day to keep your head down at times. There's cold north wind chills in the teens, and then obviously the snow. Most of the streets just remained wet. It was covering grassy surfaces, any elevated surface, and I do think it returns later tonight. We've got 3 things to talk about, really. Some light snow again overnight tonight, light snow overnight tomorrow night into Saturday. Follow that up with some Sunday rain. We'll have more details on all of that coming up. Just want to show you what's departing. The snow that you dealt with this afternoon now lifting into northeast Indiana. That will continue to pull away into Michigan. Other than a few flurries, we'll stay dry this evening. There's your temperature and wind chill. Temperatures in the 20s, wind chills in the teens. As we go through the night, I just want to point out there's the snow coming back. We'll talk about how much to expect by tomorrow morning and look at the Friday night snow as well.
I was charged for things I shouldn't have been charged for.
An Indianapolis homeowner has filed a class action lawsuit accusing her condo association of wrongly charging residents. Nicole Ashburn says she could now lose her home over attorney's fees she says she doesn't owe. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been looking into homeowners associations for the past year and joins us now with why this could happen to any homeowner. Kara.
Heron Lake is located here at 52nd and Allisonville Road. They're now the focus of a class action lawsuit that says they wrongly charged homeowners attorney's fees that they didn't owe. Nicole Ashburn has owned a condo here at Heron Lake since 2017. Her daughters live in that condo. Nicole says in 2018, she got a letter saying she owed back dues and $125 in attorney's fees.
When I received the notice, that's when I realized that I was paying the wrong amount. So it was never an intent not to pay.
Nicole says she reached out to the Heron Lake Condominium Owners Association and their attorneys and even met with them to resolve the debt.
So at that point, I really thought that everything was settled.
She was shocked when the association filed a lawsuit against her in September 2019. They put a lien on her condo and are trying to foreclose on it.
Well, I was upset. I was, I didn't know what to do.
She hired attorney Pete Kovacs, and they discovered Ashburn had been charged $1,400 in attorney's fees.
They were charging her attorney's fees for simply trying to work it out.
Legal charges they say were racked up before the condo association filed suit against her.
They added these attorney's fees to the balance that she owed. So it had a snowball effect. The harder she worked to work things out, the more she owed.
Ashburn filed a class action lawsuit on January 28th against Heron Lake, accusing them of breach of contract, fraud, and deception. The lawsuit seeks refunds for homeowners who wrongly paid legal fees, and Ashburn's asking a court to stop Heron Lake from the practice. Nicole Ashburn hopes to keep her condo and notify others who could be in the same boat.
I'm sure it's had to have happened to other people. If it happened to me and I'm trying to make do the right thing to settle it, it can happen to anyone.
An attorney for Heron Lake declined to comment on the lawsuit specifically, but told us in general, a homeowner will receive at least 4 letters before legal action is taken. I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
Kovacs says the condo association's bylaws do not allow owners to be charged legal fees prior to a lawsuit being filed. Here's how you can protect yourself. Read the bylaws and covenants before you buy a home. Read them before you make any improvement to your home. Have an open dialogue with your board. Talk to them. Go to board meetings. They should be open to the public with a few exceptions like discussions about delinquent dues. And lastly, if you get a violation letter, do not ignore it. Experts say that is the biggest mistake you can make.
Good advice there. A second chance for formerly incarcerated women in the workforce.
We'll show you what one local job training program is doing to get these women back on their feet and ready for a career.
Just about a month left in the high school basketball season. A conference championship really on the line tonight at Carmel. I'm Dave First. Tell you about that. Speaking of first place, how about the story of Franklin College basketball? Brad Brown with the Sports Extra Spotlight coming up here at RTV6.
Single day.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A goal of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative is to provide opportunities for training and growth to all Hoosiers, regardless of your past.
Project Leah is transforming the lives of formerly incarcerated women through repurposing discarded materials. Project Leah is a nonprofit job training program specifically for women who used to be in jail. In this space in the Circle City Industrial Complex, the women working here are repurposing discarded material into one-of-a-kind home and office furnishings. But there's a lot more to the hands-on work they are doing. Project Leah also offers skills training to help overcome obstacles to re-entry. The woodworking, the sewing, the creating are all new lessons for these women. 38-year-old Joyce David was behind bars for 6 years, now employed at Project Leah. She says she has the chance for successful transition to a long-term career opportunity.
Utilizing materials that other people have discarded or don't see the beauty in it. It's kind of like the same thing with us. You know, people don't always see the beauty in us, so we are able to refurbish materials and refurbish ourselves kind of at the same time. It's always something to do, something new to do, learning different trades and just things that I can utilize, you know, in my life in a later time, whether it be for personal use or, you know, in my own business ventures or whatever the case may be. The atmosphere is great.
The program length is designed to be a 1-year commitment with a Monday through Friday 40-hour-a-week schedule. For more info on how to get involved with Project Leah and to check out their store, go to hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
Officially no measurable snow at Indianapolis International Airport, but many spots with at least a cover through the day today and more to come later tonight. All of this has been kind of diminishing in coverage and intensity exiting the northeastern portion of the state. Let's take a look at these temperatures. They will not change much between now and tomorrow morning. Keep in mind, obviously, road surfaces are wet, if not a bit icy on bridges and overpasses. 26 in Kokomo and Marion, 31 in Bedford. Temperature, Bartholomew County, right at 30 degrees. Everybody will stay below freezing this evening and into the morning hours tomorrow. We're also united by the feel. When you combine that with the wind, 10 miles per hour, temperatures feel more like the teens, certainly, than the upper 20s. Overnight tonight, 11 o'clock, the beginning of the renewal of some snow showers and very light snow. Notice how it impacts the eastern half of the state through the overnight while you're sleeping. We'll wake up, I think, to the evidence of the snow. In most cases, half an inch or less. There might be an isolated spot that sees an inch of snow. And as we know time and again, it takes just a very little amount at the wrong time to create slick conditions, so we won't be caught off guard in the morning. I'm sure the RTV6 app was a help this morning when we had over 160 school delays. Anytime we've got active weather, Storm Shield is free. It's like a weather radio for your phone. Through the day on Friday, temperature by noon 32. The snow ends early. Then as we get into the afternoon, lots of clouds. It's tomorrow night that our overnight snow chances will increase once again into Saturday morning, impacting the first part of the weekend. Saturday morning, light snow across much of central Indiana at 7 a.m. That will push off to the east in the afternoon. We'll still be left with some snow snow showers. Once again, you're looking at an inch or less of accumulation. And it's warm enough on Sunday. It appears we'll have rain around for the second half of the weekend. 38 Monday, 40 on Tuesday, back to 46. Warm enough for rain as we get to Wednesday and Thursday. Back to Hamilton County with Dave.
Yeah, Carmel High School among the places to be tonight with all the girls semifinals, sectional semifinals tomorrow. Big night tonight. And Thursday night, Hoosier Hoop Hysteria, including here at Carmel, as they take on Lawrence North. Take a look at the mixed standings. This game tonight could go a long way in deciding the conference championship. In fact, just a half game separating the top three, LC, Carmel, and LN. Highlights for you tonight on the news at 11 o'clock. Pacers are back from Toronto. Practice this afternoon at their training facility. Some encouraging news for TJ Warren. He's now passed 2 of the 4 concussion protocol phases. Looks like he should start tomorrow night when they face the Raptors. It's a rematch of the game they just played and lost last night. Blew a 19-point lead. Let the Raptors in the game with an 11-0 run. Domantas Sabonis had his 3rd triple-double of the season. But that was a blown opportunity, frankly, for the blue and gold. Tomorrow night's game, 8 p.m. live on ESPN.
When you play a team again so close together, is there any carryover at all?
It's tough, it's like a playoff game, it's like we're in a little mini playoff series, and especially after a game like last night, it's going to be a completely different game, I feel like, tomorrow, because both teams are going to have adjustments.
Sometimes we say we want to get it back. We can't get last night's game back. We totally dropped that game, and we have to move on, get ourselves ready for tomorrow night, and try to defend home court.
And we'll see if the Pacers can bounce back. Speaking of bouncing back, just a couple years ago, Franklin College won just 6 games. Now on the verge of a conference championship. Brad Brown has more in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
Let's start with a reminder that just 3 seasons ago, this was a 6-win team, putting the turnaround in higher perspective.
Team on 3, 1, 2, 3, team.
Franklin stands tied for the lead in the Heartland Conference. A 10-game midseason win streak put them there. The Grizzlies' 4 seniors have been the backbone of the program's rise back to contention.
We created a bond because coming in freshman year, we all kind of knew we would have to learn from the older guys. And we really used that to our advantage and learned from them. And then we just kept working summer after summer. We were in the gym with each other. And that kind of helped us get to where we are today.
Kerry Prather has seen it all during his 37-year tenure as Franklin's head coach. Even he's been impressed at the work that's been put in to return his team to its winning ways.
They've made themselves players. I get to hold them up as an example to all these other guys about what happens if you work like a dog in the offseason, you do it all summer long, and we just watched every single one of them get better and better and better.
Junior Peyton Mills leads a balanced scoring attack at 14 points per game, but Franklin has 5 players averaging double figures this season.
You don't have to really focus on anyone or something. We're so even scoring wise and everything. It's honestly one of the most fun groups to play with, just because you don't have to say you're not there, someone else has your back and stuff every night.
12 years since their last NCAA tourney appearance, but the Grizzlies have themselves in position to get back to Division III's big dance.
That 10-game stretch showed us that hey, we have 5 games left, we can pull this out and still hopefully get number 1 in the conference.
In Johnson County, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
How about Franklin College? Meanwhile, Carmel LN just about an hour or so away. Best highlights for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Until the news at 6 continues after that.
Easy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Temperatures this evening below freezing, so watch out. There's a lot of wet surfaces after we've had the snow showers through the day. Tonight we'll see additional snow showers, and that will lead us to tomorrow morning, where maybe half an inch of snow will await. So enough to maybe create some slick spots.
A slip in the parking lot can happen so easily.
Yes.
Be careful.
We'll see you at 7.